Time for us now to go to Brad Marquis and to that all-important interview with him.
What's going on, Sound Fusion Radio? This is Brad Marquis. I want to give a shout-out to DJ Gloss and everybody who's listening right now, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. Hello?
Hi, is that Brad Marquis?
Yes.
Hi, Brad. How you doing? It's DJ Gloss from Sound Fusion Radio. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Good. Have I caught you at a good time?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just headed back to my to a place where I can actually hear you a lot better, and we can go and we can do the interview.
I was going to start with sort of with more recent things, and then ask you some questions going back in the past. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, first of all, I was going to ask you about Winner and Love Will Find a Way. They're the latest releases from you that we have, and I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about them.
Well, Love Will Find a Way, as I like to call it, is like the theme of my whole album.
Yeah.
You know, the album, it deals a lot in love, relationships, life, relationships being, your girl or being your parents or friends or what have you. So Love Will Find a Way kind of encompasses all of that, and it also encompasses something that you're passionate about, be it your dream or what have you. So it's just, that's kind of the theme of the whole album. There's a lot of conflict on the album, a little bit of drama.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually talking about, real life situations that I have been through, and through all of those real life situations, love seemed to find a way, to work everything out.
Wow. Yeah, and that's relevant, of course, to everybody, which is lovely. Fantastic. And Winner, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what's behind Winner.
Winner? Winner is kind of, I meet a lot of women. I've dated a lot of women,
yeah.
And I've met a lot of successful women, or women who have, nice standards. And Winner is kind of like, don't lower your standards for somebody. Wait on that somebody. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep representing yourself in the right way, and the right person will come along and appreciate you and recognize that you are a winner and that they have to be a winner in order to be with you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, one of those, as some women I've talked to called it like a Beyonce style, women empowerment song sung and written by a man.
Mm. Yeah, I get that. That sounds really great. That's a wonderful description of the tune as well. We've had your tunes on rotation for a little while now, and they're being received extremely well. And so you use the logo on your website, Soul Man. What does that mean to you?
It's my record label, actually.
Yeah.
And it's me. Soul Man is not just about doing soul music, but it's about where the music actually comes from, the part of your being, the part of your heart, the part of your persona, your character. That's what I believe being a soul man or a soul woman is all about, is where you bring that energy from. I don't care if it's rock or pop or reggae, but if you do it from your heart, you do it from your soul. That's what a soul man or a soul woman is about to me. Yeah. And I felt like it represented me, correctly, in addition to other people always calling me that, and it's only God that I actually have that name. As many singers as have been throughout the years and throughout the decades, and, I was given Soul Man.
Wow.
And that to me, that says something. Like all these Marvin Gayes and Donny Hathaways and all these original, Sam Cooks, these original soul men.
Yes. And
I have the name. That's crazy to me.
That's lovely. No, that is fantastic. And music that comes from the inner self, that's very descriptive of what we as a station believe music should be. We're all about the love of music, and music and love are, one and the same thing with us, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not enough. Like, there's a lot of music out here and a lot of songs out here and a lot of different artists, but I don't feel like a lot of the music is coming from the right places. It's coming from a place of ego It's coming from a place of look at me, you know, it's coming from a place of, you know, I want to depict this type of image because I think it's cool, you know, but in all actuality, it's destructive, you know, to yourself and the people who might be following you. You know, it's not sending a good message, it's not uplifting. You know, it's self-absorbed, and it's causing other people to be, and causing the people who follow it to be self-absorbed, and, you know, and so that's why I do what I do. You know, just there's an alternative. Like, I believe there's room for everything, but there should be alternatives so people can choose.
Yes, exactly right. And people should make those choices based on what they like. But, you know, everybody, each to their own, I agree. But a tune that carries a wonderful message as opposed to a tune that carries a hateful or violent one, I know which choice I would always make.
And there seems to be a lot of messages out there that are carrying, you know, the violent ones are carrying, you know, just a lot of sex, you know, type of situations, and that's, you know, one thing that I wanted to get away from on Love Will Find a Way. I didn't just want an album of either you're having sex or you're breaking up, you're cheating or you're having sex, and, you know, you're making love or whatever the case may be. Like, there's a whole lot of conversations in between all of that. You know, there are reasons that people have problems in relationships. There are reasons why they break up. Yeah. There are reasons why they may cheat. You know, there are situations that set up the romantic mood. Like, let's talk about the situations that set up the romantic mood. Let's talk about situations that lead to people not wanting to be together and breaking up or having conflict or what have you. Like, if we can talk about those situations and figure those out, maybe people can stay together a little bit longer or know how to work through the problem, as opposed to saying, okay, this is the end of it, I don't want to be here. Like, nah, there's steps before you break up.
Yeah.
You know, there's a conversation that can be had before you get to the point of no return.
Yeah, and too often and too many people are very happy to abandon before they make even an attempt at that conversation. So I hear you, definitely.
Absolutely, and that's one of the main, you know, themes in Love Will Find a Way, or concepts in Love Will Find a Way is, you know, let's keep talking, let's keep trying, let's keep working. I just throw our hands up and walk away, but, you know, we have to keep working at this relationship, even if we've been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
That's lovely. Thanks for sharing that with us, Brad. That's absolutely fantastic. Can I ask you some questions going back in time a little bit? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was really interested in how it all started in music with you. I mean, where did you find your voice, and what age were you when you did that?
Well, let's say I started music back in, I don't even go back on dates. I was about 4 years old.
Wow.
When I did it. You know, I was born into music. My whole family sang, and, you know, I was born into the church choir, kids' church choir, and singing in front of the congregation, all that stuff. So it was always there. But, you know, it was just something I could do. It wasn't something that I really, you know, I didn't fall in love with music until, like, I think of junior high, Bobby Brown and you know, I'll Be Sure and Uptown and you know, Bad Boys started just popped on the scene.
Yeah.
You know, that's when that style of R&B, you know, just kind of, that's when I fell in love, you know, with R&B. Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans and, you know, all those, you know, artists came out, as when I was like, oh my goodness, Jodeci. Oof. Jodeci was my group.
Yeah.
You know. So that, and then, like, I found my voice in 2008, specifically.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a play. I got asked to do a play. It was a musical, and it pretty much, you know, I was introduced to some incredible directors and producers, and they pretty much broke me down and built me back up again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was doing about 4 shows a week, 2 hours a day, for 3 months.
Wow.
You know, and, you know, some nights the crowd would be 5 people. Some nights the crowd would be, you know, 200, 300 people.
Yeah.
You know, but being able to do the same 2-hour show, whether it was 5 people or 300 people, you know, that's when I felt like I had arrived as an artist. Yeah. You know, that's when I felt like I was able to get on stage and not be Brad Jackson, but be Brad Marquis, the artist.
Yeah. Wow. And I can relate to that. You know, in live performance that we do as DJs, you know, audiences can vary greatly, and to have the same enthusiasm for a small audience is not always easy. And like you say, that takes a performer. That takes some doing, and I can relate to that greatly. So, what do you think, or do you remember your earliest or first public performance? Do you remember what that was?
Our first performance?
Yeah, your very first first time in front of an audience. Doesn't matter how old you were. I mean, for some people that could be as young as 4.
Oh man, I remember it. I remember a few performances. Definitely when I was in church. Coming up as a youngster. 'Cause, I remember those so vividly because I used to always forget the lyrics to the song I was singing. And my aunt was the church choir director, the children's choir director, and she would always have to start the song all over because I would always forget the lyrics. So that was that. But the moment where it kind of hit me that I wanted to be a musician is when I was in college, and it was a talent show. And long story short, it was like a fashion show and a talent show, and they would have fashion skits and then have an artist, a performer come up. They didn't have enough artists. They had more skits than artists. And the host and the hostess knew that I sang, and they saw me in the audience, and they came out and was trying to convince me to perform at the end of the night, but I was just dead set against it. Mm-hmm. And when the end of the night came, they turned off the lights in the auditorium and hit me in the middle of the crowd, like 500 people, my peers, and they hit me in the middle of the crowd with a spotlight. and the roar of the crowd was just deafening, literally deafening.
Wonderful.
And so I had to get up and I went to the stage and I sang a song, and I remember walking off the stage, like I got up and walked off the stage and it was so loud I couldn't hear anything. It was crazy because it was so loud I couldn't hear anything. Wow. And the host and hostess, like, they were yelling my name, but I was looking down, like I wasn't looking up. And when I finally looked up at them, they were like, "Brad, turn around." And I turned around, and all I saw was just people just rushing the stage and lights on me and just, banging on the stage and just, giving me a lot of, kudos and saluting me. And,
wonderful.
After I was just like, you know what, I could do this. I want to do this.
Wow, Brad, what an experience. That's lovely. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I was 19.
19. Wow, that's a great experience for 19. And you had no idea before that that they were going to do that. That's amazing.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, absolutely not. I mean, I wasn't going to do it. like I was. The only reason I did it is because I came there and like at that time I was just like trying to keep to myself for the most part.
Yeah.
And my friends had come in from out of town and they wanted to do something, so I took them to the event. Mm. And, so there was a young lady in the audience that I was trying to, get with, and she came up to me like, "I don't believe they're not going to sing. You should get up there and sing." Like, everybody was just trying to push me to do it. I was just dead set on not singing, and then next thing you know, I'm up on the stage.
Yeah, once the spotlight's on you and everybody's got an expectation, what can you do?
Yeah, you can't do anything but get on the stage or run out the building. And I was not running. I couldn't show my face if I ran out the building.
No, that's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Put on the spot and stepped up to the plate. How fantastic. That's great. You told us a little bit about the sort of groups that you liked when you were younger. But who, if anyone, would you say was a major inspiration to you in life or music?
Well, initially, what I fell in love with music, like I said before, was KC from JoJo.
Yeah.
That was, Jodeci just kind of opened my ears to something I had never heard before. Mm. Before that, all the boy groups and the boy bands, Boys to Men and New Edition and even back to Temptations and even before them, their harmonies were so just in the pocket and perfect. Like, everybody started and stopped at the same time. Pretty much everybody, had the same riffs, and, it was just kind of normal. When Jodeci came along, it was just all over the place, but it all sounded good together, and then they all hit and stopped at the same point. And that just, it just sounded like ad-libs in the middle of harmonies, and it was just so amazing to me, And KC's voice it was something that I wanted to aspire to have and to be, Like now not so much, but Jodeci days, like, his voice was just it for me. Him and I guess his name was Dino from H-Town.
Yes.
Oh man, their voices were just amazing for me. Wow. And after that, as you get into music and as you start to get introduced to a lot of things, and you start to remember as you're growing up. Like I remember my grandparents always playing Sam Cooke and B.B. King,
Lovely.
So and playing Johnny Taylor, which made me go back and listen to those artists.
Yeah.
And my mother playing Luther Vandross and Freddie Jackson and Johnny Gill and all that. And so it made me go back and research and listen to those artists. So, I fell in love with Donny Hathaway. I fell in love with Marvin Gaye. I fell in love with Sam Cooke, from his songwriting perspective, but more so his business acumen and a lot of the things that he was doing when, artists in general,
yes,
not let alone a black artist, as far as owning their own publishing and owning their own record label and being able to put out and distribute other artists. Like he was a pioneer for that. Motown before Motown.
Absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt.
And that inspired me to start my own record label. That inspired me I always wanted to help other artists, but that kind of gave me the framework for how I can help other artists.
That's really great, and that's lovely to hear. And I guess, as you go through and you look at all those different artists, you take a little piece here and a little piece there, but that's what makes Brad Marquis unique, because you became what you wanted to be, but out of the best of what you'd heard, and that that's a morphing that a lot of artists go through, and it's amazing. You can kind of see the influences, but they're a unique being in themselves. I think that comes
right.
through.
I mean, it's still an ongoing journey. Like just this, it's one of the big things about this album and all the support that I've gathered from this support is like a lot of the people who are here with me now, they followed me. They followed me, through the first album, through the second album, and now, and they're so ecstatic and happy about the growth that they've seen from the first project to now. From a music perspective as well as the branding perspective and just everything that comes along with it. And I believe a lot of people always wanted to support me, but when you want to support somebody, sometimes you have to report to somebody else.
Yeah.
And they don't know those people that, you have to report to don't necessarily know the artist, firsthand like you do. So you have to give them something to convince them to go along with what you say. And with this album, I feel like I'm able to give people to go to their bosses and go to their people that they report to and say, you know what, he's undeniable. This is undeniable. You're going to like it too.
Yeah.
Without having to see me perform or having to meet me, personally or one-on-one. The music and the branding and the imagery, everything speaks for itself. So, everybody feels comfortable moving forward with it.
Yeah, I think the Brad Marquis brand is very nice. The website and the way that it all sits together. Your image. I mean, it all comes together very nicely and shows that there's a lot of thought and depth gone into it. Even your BM logo and so on. It works like an expensive car almost. It's great. I love it.
Well, I hope it appreciates. I don't want it to depreciate.
I'm with you there, without a doubt. So what you working on for the rest of the year, Brad? Have you got some things lined up that you're doing?
Right now, we got a video. Like I said, we just got finished shooting a video, actually, about 15 minutes ago for Love Find a Way. So hopefully we can have that to you in the next couple of weeks,
Lovely.
next 2 weeks or so. And right now, booking shows and doing interviews and everything that goes along with promotion. And it's every day something new happens. I can't really dictate my day. Like I have certain things that are scheduled, but every day is something new popping up because I'm essentially, even though this is my third album, I'm essentially a new artist.
Yeah.
And people are just, the mainstream and the wheel is just really getting introduced to me. So as those introductions occur, opportunities occur. So, I just try and stay ready and hopefully, I can start to, I want to go to the Soul Train Awards. I want to be at the Grammys and things of that nature and shoot a couple more videos and hopefully come out to the UK and do as many shows as possible.
That'd be wonderful. We'd love to see you over here. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, quite a lot of artists from your side of the pond, so to speak, come over here regularly and have a great following. Certainly in your genre.
Yeah, I did a couple of shows out there, and I performed in Paris before. I performed in Newcastle.
Wonderful.
London, and all those. The great equalizer is music. I remember I was in Paris and didn't speak a word of French.
Mm-hmm.
But I get on the stage and I start singing Marvin Gaye's "Sexual Healing," and everybody sang it if they was like they were sitting in some American pub. Like word for word. I didn't even have to sing the song. I sang the first line, and everybody just picked up and started singing it for me. And I'm like, this is what music is all about.
Absolutely. The international language of good music. It never fails.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm just dying to get back. Hopefully I can get over there this year, if, not early next year, and I'll keep coming back.
Good for you. That's absolutely great. So, what about sort of the next 5 years? What do you see being the thing there? What would you like to achieve? Perhaps in that time would be a better way to ask the question.
Well, hopefully achieve a more consistent and stable financial situation as far as music is concerned. I would love music to be the only thing that, supplies for myself and my family.
Yes.
Go as far as that as I can go. I want to put out other artists, help other artists get to my position or further than me, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want, do the artist thing, as far as expand on my brand with clothing and stuff like that. Like I have a lot of ideas that I've always wanted to do with the BM, logo and just become a better artist in general, a better business person in general. Get the family life going, and get the philanthropy thing going. Like it's just it's so much that I want to do. Music is just the first step, and it just opens up so many doors to do so many other things. So I'm just trying to create the good foundation where everything else can springboard and have legs of their own, where I can give back to put other people in a position to be successful, and give to the community as much as I possibly can. That's heavy on my mind and heavy in my craft, in my art.
Wow. That's a really lovely aim, and and hopefully I can see with the way that things are going that you're gonna push that to its potential, Brad, because that's fantastic. I was gonna ask you if there was a female artist that you would like to do a duet with, who would it be?
Mary J. Blige is always the first woman that pops into my head.
Funny enough,
Mary J, Faith Evans, and Algebra. Right now, Algebra, Blessed is high on my list of women to, do a duet with. I love her right now. I love her, Nobody But You song right now. Every time I hear it, it just gets better.
Wonderful. yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, yeah, any one of those, fantastic. How lovely. That's brilliant. That's absolutely great. I was going to say to you, because we're obviously got quite a big listenership here in the UK and worldwide, but if there was something you wanted to say to your fans, what would that be?
Just keep trying. If I had to say anything to my fans, is keep trying. Learn what you need to learn, and keep having faith. Keep believing in yourself, believe in God, or whoever you believe in, and just keep trying. Don't give up.
That's very, very good advice, and certainly, people go through things in life, and it's very easy to think, it's time to give up now. It's time to go and do something else, and
especially right now.
Yeah,
economies are down. Nobody's, especially if you have a dream. This is not a dream economy. This is a service economy. People who normally provide a service are the ones who are making the money. The people who have the dreams are the ones who should need the services.
That's a very good parallel. So you got any big events coming up very quickly there where you are? Anything?
Right now on tap is I have an album release show this coming Saturday. Actually, it's September 28th. So by the time this gets on, maybe it won't. We'd have already done it, but the way it's looking is like it's going to be a very, very big event, and I'm super excited about it. This is the first time that I'll be performing many of these songs. I've only actually performed 2 songs. Actually, Winter and Love Will Find a Winter and Bounce Back actually are the only 2 songs that I performed over the summer. Because I was trying to reintroduce myself, so I was doing a few songs from my older projects, or the shows I've done throughout the summer.
Yeah.
And then I would throw in 1 or 2 new songs. But this is the first opportunity I'm going to get to perform, at length, songs from this album. And there's going to be so many people in the building who's had something to do with my journey. And I just hope I don't break down on stage. I'm sure I will, get choked up a little bit, but there's going to be so many people who had their hands in my journey, and so many people. I told my mom yesterday, she was telling me how proud she was of me, and I was like, you know what? I'm grateful for the things that you didn't say as much as the things that you did say.
Oh.
Because she's never, ever, regardless of what the financial situation looked like or how much strain it may have put on her, or burden it may have put on her, she's never, ever, ever, ever suggested that I try to do anything else.
That's amazing. How lovely is that?
She's always supported and always allowed me to do what I do. Of course, she wanted me to do other things in addition, but she never once said, stop doing what you're doing, or you shouldn't, maybe you should try something different. It's not working out. And she allowed me to go through the whole process with a clear conscience, and that's priceless.
Absolutely. How lovely is that? Brad's mum, we love you. You're great. One more thing. If our listeners want to find out more about you, or want to go and have a listen and buy your previous albums, where's the best place for them to do that?
Well, you can find all of my information, all of my previous albums are on iTunes, as well as cdbaby.com, hard copies on CD Baby. You can go to Amazon, iTunes, or any other sites to find the digital of my first album, Finding My Way, or my second album, Authentic, or this album, Thank You. As far as my other sites, like all of my social networking sites, and as well as my website, it's under the same name, Brad Marquis, BraddMarquis. And that's also Gmail as well if you want to contact me directly. Again, Brad Marquis, BraddMarquis. And, like I said, you can't miss me. I'm out there. Not too many people have that name, so I'm blessed. And, it is the one my mom gave me. She gave me 2 Ds, and she gave me Marquis. So,
there you go.
I'm blessed with that, too.
That's great, Brad. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close?
All I want to say is support good music. I don't care if it's mainstream or indie, support good music. There's a lot of good records that's come out in the last 3 months, and, hopefully you think mine is one of them. Definitely. But either case, there are a lot of dope artists, Foreign Exchange, Algebra, Music Soul Child just dropped one, Raheem Devon, Joe. Like, there's a lot of good music out there. Drake's album, mainstream and indie. So, you guys are our lifeblood, so please keep us going.
Definitely. Well, we will continue to play your music, Brad, and as you release more music and as you have things to announce, please come back to us and let us know so that we can let your listeners know and communicate that to London, England, and the rest of the world. And
well, thank you.
Stay in touch.
Like I said, man, the Love Will Find a Way is a single, but like at this point the album's already out. So whatever you feel will work best for your audience is cool with me.
That's wonderful. Well, we will always continue to support your music, Brad. We love what we have of it so far, and we will just continue to add to it. So that's fantastic. And when you've got new things coming up, just give us a shout, and maybe we can have a shout. We can have a chat again and an interview. Or
well, I'm gonna add you. What I'm gonna do? I don't think I did, but I'm gonna add you to my newsletter.
Okay.
And, so you'll know everything I know.
Ah, well, there you go. That's a great thing. Thank you very much, Brad. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for the interview, man. It was a pleasure, man. I love good interviewers. I do.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really
cool. You had good questions and good engagement, man. Not everybody's a good interviewer, so when I find one, I appreciate it.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say that, Brad. Thank you very much indeed. You have a wonderful day, and have a blessed day, and we'll speak to you again very, very soon, I hope, from everybody at Sound Fusion Radio. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. You have a blessed one.
Cheers. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
There you go, Brad Marquis. What a lovely guy. Absolutely loved talking to him. And a couple of the statements that he said there is, you're not a failure until you stop trying. What a wonderful thing that is. And another point that he raised was he loved everything that his mum didn't say, as well as everything that she did. That some of the things that she didn't say were more important to him than some of the things she did, you know. Just love that. And it was great. It was lovely to have a conversation. And thank you very much, Brad Marquis, for wonderful Music Week. We played pretty much every single, in fact, I think we did play every track on the album across the course of the week, and it's been fantastic. So, cheers, Brad.
What's going on, Sound Fusion Radio? This is Brad Marquis. I want to give a shout out to DJ Gloss and everybody who's listening right now, and I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Glossy. This is Sound Fusion Radio with DJ Gloss.